All right. Hello, everybody. It's Neal Weichel with Remax here with my good friend Holly Schroeder, the president, CEO of the Santa Clarita Valley Economic Development Corporation. Now, why are we doing this video today? Well, I've been fortunate to be a member of the EDC for a number of years now. And one of the things that's always amazing to me is I go to these meetings with all these movers and shakers around town, and I hear about stuff that's coming up, and I think, oh, all my clients would love to hear this. And last week I was at one such meeting, and it was a lot of development issues. And these are really important things to people that live in our community. I'm always being asked about them. What's happening over here? What are they going to build over there? This kind of a thing. So I said, Holly, let's sit down for 5 minutes. Let's go through this list, and you can share what you're allowed to share, because some of it is not yet quite ready for public information. But I think you'll find it interesting. We're going to put a map up so you can see where these different projects are. And in many cases, these are parcels, pieces of land that you've known for a long time that just sit there, and you ask yourself, what's going to happen there? I'm going to start with what I call the donkey farm. You told me it's the mule farm, but anybody driving into our valley as you come down the 5 freeway knows what we call the Wiley Canyon Project. It's where the athletic club is. I remember when the athletic club was a car dealership, if some of you go back to the 80s. Anyway, that property there, which is very valuable and kind of a first look when you come into Santa Clarita, tell us a little bit about what's going to happen there.
Yeah, so that's been proposed for a development that is a mixed-use project, so being driven by senior living. So a multi-level senior community that would include independent and assisted living, as well as some other apartments and some retail amenities. So that's what's been proposed. So that's still making its way through the approval process.
Right, and I think there's probably a strong desire for that, don't you? I mean, there's certainly a need, right?
Absolutely a need. We have a huge growing segment of seniors in our community, and they want to have we want to continue to keep those folks living here.
Yeah, and I think retail too, because it's nice, that part of town could use a little bit more of that. All right, so that's the Wiley thing. Now, a lot of us who came out here in the 80s always remember Saga Speedway, back when there actually used to be cars there and races there. And those of you in the 70s especially, you could hear it all the way across the valley. So the Saga Speedway, what's going to happen there?
So again, proposed for a new development that also mixed use, so a mix of housing, and that's really great because it's adjacent to the Santa Clarita Transit Center, as well as some industrial development that's going to be focused on specialty studios. So again, more filming opportunities for the Santa Clarita Valley. And
filming and studios is a big part of what we want to see here, right?
Absolutely.
Why is that?
Well, it's a great economic driver here. So when folks are filming here, they film in the studio, in the sound stages, they film around town. It creates a lot of jobs. There's a lot of activity. They're well-paid jobs.
Yep.
They spend money in the community, and we have a lot of people who work in the industry, who live here, who would really love to do more work locally.
Yeah, for sure. And we'll talk about another one at the end. Okay, so I've always heard in a negative way about the Whitaker Burmite property, right? It used to be a munitions area. For those of you, we'll show you again a map, but this is behind Circle J and behind the Saga Speedway. It's a big piece of land, right?
Yeah, it's nearly 1,000 acres of land.
Kind of right in the middle of town.
Right in the middle of town, right in the middle of the valley. And it was a former munitions testing site, so there was some environmental damage that had to be cleaned up. There is a clearance from the Department of Toxic Substance Control, DTSC, and there is now a owner of that property. It had been in some legal gyrations, I guess we'll call it, as it was working through some of the cleanup process. But now New Urban West is the legal owner of the property, and they'll be working on a development plan over the coming months. Likely to be, again, a mixed-use project, so there'll be some housing on parts of the property, but also some commercial and maybe some entertainment activities. So that's in really early stages of planning, but it is that big sort of, we call it the center of the hole in the donut,
sure,
right, in the community. And so what we do there is going to be really special for the community, and we're looking forward to that development.
Yeah, I'm with you on that for sure. And New Urban West is a development company that has done developments out here in the past. And
absolutely,
people are familiar with them, and they do good stuff. So we're excited about that. All right, so moving to the other side of town, a part of town we don't talk a lot about. I have known about what is now, I guess, going to be called the Sand Canyon Plaza. It used to be mobile homes there for the longest time, and then all those mobile homes went away, and it's just been sitting there. This is at Sand Canyon, right? If you go on the off-ramp, instead of going to where all the beautiful homes are to the right, you go to the left, and it's catty corner from the Vaughn Shopping Center there, right at the corner, busy place. So Sand Canyon Plaza, tell us about that.
Yep, so again, some housing going in there, but also a retail center that sort of similar to what we talked about on Wiley's, going to be anchored by an assisted living center, and then some other community serving retail.
Right.
Should be really great.
So I'm sure that part of town would like, more goods and services, and it sounds like they're going to get it at least there.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah. And it's a logical place. It's a high traffic location. All right, so let's end with this. One of the things I heard about, and I met the gentleman who's running it, just a terrific guy, the Shadowbox Studios. So one of the oldest parts of our valley is where the Saga Cafe is, right? And we all know it's, I guess, the oldest restaurant out here. It would have to be. Right on Newhall Avenue. And across from it is these kind of old metal industrial buildings, right? And then going all the way down to the entrance to Plaza, there's basically two different things that are going to happen in that space. Let's talk about those. And we'll start with what I guess is called the Commerce Center.
Right. So they're rebranding those metal buildings and the space immediately south of it as the Santa Clarita Commerce Center. Okay. And there's going to be some new industrial buildings that are going to go in there. Those metal buildings are largely being used for entertainment support. I mean, there is some storage there, but there's also set storage and prop storage and things like that. So that helps our entertainment industry, as well as storage from moving companies and things like that. But three new industrial buildings will be are proposed there. And that'll be great because we actually are running out of industrial inventory. So we're looking forward to the opportunity to bring in some more businesses there.
And did I hear, Holly, I think I did, that they're already gone. Those three buildings are already spoken for. Is that accurate?
No, not yet. But there are lots of people on the list of interested parties. It's like one of your interest lists for new homes coming up.
All right. Okay. No comment. So then just south of that, and I've seen the schematics, and I get really excited about it only because I a big part of our history in this valley is the movies, right? Going back to the silent movie stars. And you can walk down, downtown Newhall and see kind of a tribute to that. So Shadowbox Studios, we're right in the middle of that being kind of approved and discussed and everything like that. Tell us a little bit about that and we'll end with that.
Yeah, so Shadowbox is a proposed full service movie studio, 19 sound stages, as well as support space for pre and post production and storage and all of the other activities that support filming operations. So that's a significant increase in the amount of space, of soundstage space we'd have here. It would be great, would allow us to do all kinds of interesting, not just TV, but movies and a lot of things. And it really, I like your reference to the history, because when you think about all of Plaza Canyon, from Shadowbox, you go into the canyon, you got Melody Ranch, you keep going up, you got, Disney Golden Oak Ranch, you got Rancho Deluxe, you got Sable Ranch, you got all of these movie ties from these ranches and the facilities that are in Plaza Canyon. And all of that economic activity is also going to support what's been happening in Old Town Newhall, which is really fantastic transformation and new services and restaurants and stores going in there. So it's a really prime piece of property, and we're really excited about the number of jobs and the economic activity, and just I think the real ripple effect it'll have across the valley.
Yeah, I'm with you 100%. And when you see the schematics, and I think everybody will in due time, it's a very thoughtful project. It's really nice to look at, and it looks like just something that's really going to be a nice addition.
Yeah, it should be really nice.
Yeah. So all right, well there you have it. I mean, we've got other stuff, believe it or not, but that's certainly enough for now. And hit us up if you have questions. Obviously, for these kinds of things, we're here to let you know what's happening in your valley and continue to see great things happen. Thanks, Holly.
Great. Thank you, Neal.
You got it.